Welcome back to the Combat Base Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Master Jean Jacques Machado, Jiu Jitsu pioneer and absolute legend. We want to take a moment to thank you for listening and supporting our project. We want to continue to produce content and expand the Combat Base Podcast, so please consider supporting our project by liking, subscribing, and commenting. It really helps. You can also use promo code PODCAST to receive a free month of Combat Baseclub membership. And you can use promo code PODCAST10 to receive a 10% discount on Combat Base merchandise and chrishaueterart at combatbase.com. If you would like to make a very, very much appreciated monetary contribution to help us keep producing content, we have a Patreon at Combat Base Podcast, or become a YouTube super right at the bottom of your screen. We thank you again for all the support and good energy. Without further ado, here is a discussion on Jiu-Jitsu history and purpose with Master Jean Jacques Machado.
Yeah, Hegan was
In the loft?
In the front garage, yeah.
Or just the garage, okay.
And then remember the bedroom was something like this.
Yeah, the loft.
The loft up there, yep.
Then Carlos used to be in the house outside.
Yep.
The little house.
Like this
That's where I lived when I first moved here.
And that was Carlos' room.
Yeah.
Then I came in I remember the first day I arrived, I think it was early in the morning. They had no bed, nothing. I slept on those blue folding mats.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck is that?
They told you
First
you were
night.
coming to LA beaches.
Then what they did was I have my daughter choose same age as John, and they let my daughter sleep on his crib. Then I slept on the floor. I was like, man, I think I was 1 month here. It's like, I got to move out. Then I moved to Avenue B. Then I rented an apartment. I said, I don't want to sleep on the floor. And I think what struck me was, I don't know which was the weekday that I arrived. Saturday, they have a group class. And I had no idea. As soon as I wake up, I see a bunch of people walking in and out the house. Like, who the hell is these people? I have a class. Like, class Saturday morning. Oh, that's our biggest class. What I didn't like it because it's just one bathroom.
One bathroom, yeah.
And people in and out.
Yeah,
Like, man, I don't know you using the same bathroom.
Yeah,
I felt horrible.
Plus 8 people.
The class was here?
Yeah.
That group
He
class,
used,
right?
he used to be a deck.
Yeah, it was a deck.
And remember Charles from Avenue B, the tall guy? He's the one who built.
He built the frame.
The frame.
Yep.
And we put the canvas on top.
Yep. Canvas tarp,
And-
plastic walls.
What was his name? Ribeck? What's his name?
Posnick.
No.
He helped? No?
No. Ribeck, whatever.
Robichaud, the guy who became a cop.
No, it wasn't him. He was from the Valley guy. He helped to put the mats on the wall.
Oh, okay.
He was the one who made those plywood with foam and canvas just to put around the wall.
Cover the wall. Yeah.
So the original Machado Academy.
Man.
In
And
America.
I think the first one was Avenue B.
The first one was Hegans Garage on
What-
Avenue B.
Right there.
And then one time Hoist came over and
Yeah, I think Horim had an issue in his
he
house.
realized that because Hegan would have me come over to help him with privates.
Yeah, but
And I was supposed to be under Hoist. And Hoist came once and I could tell there's a tension.
No, because what happened was Higan came to train wrestling to America. That's all he
Yeah.
wanted to do, wrestling. Then when he got here, Horim got a hold of him, and hey, can you help with teaching the class? I was back in his garage.
Okay.
And Higan had no English. And Caesar used to live with
Yeah.
us in Brazil.
That's right.
Caesar went to Brazil to stay with Renzo. He couldn't stay with Renzo. He said, I'm coming back to...
Because it was too wild.
Yes. Then Higan invited him to come to our house for a couple months. He was there for a year. Then he learned how to speak Portuguese. Then Caesar came back. Higan said, I want to go and train wrestling. And I don't recall where. I think they used to live in the valley somewhere, Higan.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He used to work in construction. Then he was happy training wrestling. Then Horim brought him in. Caesar was sitting in the class translating. He go, hey, tell him this. And Caesar tell the guy, the student. Then after a while, Horim opened his school.
Yeah.
Little one in Carson.
Yep.
That's when Caesar had an idea of also having a school. But Caesar go to the school and he pulls the mat like this. And Horim, what are you doing? I'm just to see the brand because I'm going to buy the mats to put in my garage to start teaching.
That made Horim.
I was like, what? Get out of it. That's when it kind of split for a little while. Then
Yeah.
it
I mean,
was-
when I first began, like on my third or fourth class, because Horion knew I did the Jeet Kune Do and other stuff, he asked me with a big Horion smile, Chris, but do you have any mats at your house? And I'm like, no. It's like, are you sure? Well, like, I thought he was asking if I had mats to loan him. And then I realized he was trying to figure out if I'm doing side training. And that was like, then the academy
Man.
opened like, I must say a year after I was
he
training.
changed so much today, Horim, but early days was like, I didn't know him much that well.
Yeah.
I knew Hickson very well, but not him. And even Royce used to go to Brazil to have vacation and stay in our house.
Yeah.
Because that was fun. A lot of people, I was teenagers doing a lot of things, but yeah, it was a rough beginning.
Now, before you arrived
I
here,
came here in 92. You
Yeah.
guys already,
yeah,
Horim was here since, I don't know, 60s?
but you were the head guy at Baja Gracie
Oh, yeah.
and the main
Oh.
instructor.
All the champion guys were my students.
Yeah. And then Mauricio Fitosa,
Marshall.
yeah, there was some beef because
No.
Bob Bass beat him.
What happened
in
was he never lost. And nobody wants to be a referee. Then my cousin, hey, Jean Jacques, can you be a ref? Sure.
Amore mio.
Then he became a referee, and the fight started. I think Bob took him down.
Yeah.
Did the points, just the points. And the Brazilians start screaming, that was a point. There was nothing happened. The fight was over,
Yeah.
and Bob ended up winning square. No,
Yeah.
nothing wrong. I don't know who from here said, oh, the Machado set us up in Brazil.
Conspiracy comes in.
And I mean, I never had an issue with my cousin, but because I split from him in Brazil, and that was so funny because he stopped teaching. Carlinhos said, I don't want to teach no more. Then I ended up buying him out. My dad gave me the money, I bought him out. Then the academy belongs to me, my brother Carlos, and the other guy named Leon Teixeira, Zé Beleza, that we call.
Yeah.
Today he calls Gávea Jiu Jitsu. And it's three. The school is doing incredible. Carlinhos stopped training because he wants to become a farmer. He wants to have a farm with no pesticides.
Yeah, organic
Organic.
farm.
And I go like, man, I grew up, these guys, they didn't wake up at 7 in the morning. They wake up at 12 noon. They want to be a farmer? Hell, no way. And I don't know, 6 months later, I want to come back in the school. And the school is doing incredible. And what happened is the school used to be in a house. And when we're in a house, I remember the city started sending us bills from 3 years ago. I mean, they never paid any tax or any bill in the place. And suddenly got a letter from the office, hey, we're going to have to shut you guys down. What? Then you go, they never pay yearly tax, they never pay lights. The lights is crazy. They broke the asphalt, make a connection here to the block next door, has a little shopping. They used to pull energy out of them.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why nobody ever paid the bill. And how they find out, they had done construction in the neighborhood, they shut off the light for a couple hours. And the guy come, I remember the guy talked to me, he's like, why you guys' lights are not off? Why it's supposed to be off? I paid the bill. Then I realized, actually, I never paid the bill. And the guy, that's funny because we turned off the lights from this whole block, and you guys still have the lights. Well, the city guy go and start investigating, and they find out there was a wrong connection. Then I moved the school to a nearby fitness center, which has everything, has a pool, has nice changing rooms, and has a room about this big for jiu-jitsu. And then Carlinhos came back. He said, I just want to come a couple of days in the back. But when he came back, he was concerned with me. I don't know why.
You built a bunch of champions.
Because I had the school and I was the head guy.
Yeah.
And I had my brother there. Carlos used to teach a lot of privates, and I have the other guy teaching just the kids, and I was the guy carrying the whole school. Oh, can I come a couple of days during the week? I said, sure. But he spoke to Zé, spoke to my brothers, hey, can you guys talk to Jean? But he never spoke to me. And I was like, man, am I going to say no to him, please? Yeah. But I knew once he come back, I knew how he used to run things. Like, oh, shit. Then he started 2 days, then 3 days, then 4 days, then 5 days. Then he kind of took over. And I had 3 days only. But my class was packed. Then, and I told the owner of the school, I said, boy, you guys got so many rooms over here using 3 people doing fitness. And they have 100 people doing jiu-jitsu. Yeah. I mean, switch this.
Yeah.
Put them all there. There is a bigger space and the guys in the other space. Oh, no. Jiu-jitsu is not profitable. It's like, what are you talking about? Jiu-jitsu is the most expensive activity inside the business. Yeah. Then I spoke to Carlinhos. I said, Carlinhos, we have an invitation for all the fitness around the area that wants to have us. Let's go. And they even give us a better deal, a brand new facility. Nah, I don't want to go. Because he used to live next door. He used to live like a door, like a house there. He walks to the gym and go back home. And the other school would be a couple blocks away. No, you should go. But I don't think he realized that I actually would go. I said, I have your bless. Yes, okay. Then I moved. But I didn't know either. But when I moved, everybody left.
They went with you.
Then when he came to teach a class, he got like 5 people. Everybody went with me. Yeah. I did not count. I just saw people coming in. The class was packed. Then he called, hey, you fuck me. He's like, whoa, what happened? Yeah. Everybody left. Then I have to ask some of my people to go there. Look, half has to stay. No, boy. And even end up having like guys did not like it because, man, I can't have you now, at least for a little while. Go back there because the situation. Then this happened. Then later, come to America, you get a little friction already. Yeah. Boom. Jean Jacques is a son of a gun. He stole the fight. Marshall lost. And then and I go to Brazil, everybody look at me a little weird. Then the people start talking. I go to Carlinhos. What the hell is that? Where's Marshall? And then they kind of didn't want to talk to me. And who set up or what? Look the video. And people like, oh, yeah, Marshall actually lost. Yeah. And they create a little, with me and my brothers, not just me. Who opened the IBJJF here?
You guys. Yeah. You guys started it and held the first pants.
Here's the thing to me. Carlinhos have an issue with me, no problem. I can handle it. But I think the biggest thing that is hard to forget that he did was to betray Hegans.
He really betrayed
Hegans was like a son to him. And he was like a father to Hegans. Then he basically destroyed Hegans. After that, Hegans just went down the road. Now he's a big guy, and Jiu-Jitsu is not his priority anymore because of that. Yeah. That's when Hegans started. Because anybody in the world could betray him, not Carlinhos.
What broke Hegans' heart?
Oh, they broke him. Not just the heart, broke him.
Was this conflict over that you're talking about right here, was this part of the reason why you wanted to come to the U.S.? Your brothers were here doing their thing?
The U.S. was funny because we were very close in Brazil, the brothers. And I remember I took Carlos and John to the airport. I was crying like a kid. You guys leave it. I'm never going to see you guys again. I was the one driving there like, like, man, I was like 18. I was 18, 19. Yeah. And I was like, man, I haven't seen Hegans already. He was here. Then I'm not going to see them again. And I felt weird. I was doing fine in Brazil, but I came here in 1991, middle of the year for vacation. Yeah. Well, it's when we went to see Chuck Norris seminar in Vegas. Yeah. Then I felt like so cool. Like, man, hang out with my brothers again. And evidently they have like none of us grew up with a business mentality. We're jiu-jitsu instructors. Yeah. We want to see the best in people, but when it comes to make business, profits, and I don't know.
You guys weren't so good at that. I wasn't either.
Zero.
Horim was good at that.
Mm-hmm.
No, he used to make, I see, $5,000 a month for him and get paid $500 a month.
I remember.
Then he could not. Then he had to get a second job.
Yep.
Just to be able to live, pay the rent.
Yep. I remember
But-
when I saw a John Machado in a pizza delivery uniform, and I was like, "Wait a minute."
John didn't
I thought
even
you were
taught
jiu-jitsu
jiu-jitsu. He not even start teaching. He was working as a pizza delivery.
Yeah.
Then when I came in here, he's like, "What the hell, guys doing? Pizza delivery and boy, there's no money
Living
to
in
go
the
to
shithole."
supermarkets. Like, boy, is this
You're in this
forest that you
tiny
guys
house.
teaching? He's like, man, everybody's sleeping on the floor, no furniture." And that was so fun. It's like, man, they did not grow up. They still,
But it was
'Cause
a fun time of life. It was a fun time, wasn't it?
yes.
Yes.
I mean, not
Being
much.
young is fun.
Not much responsibility.
Yeah.
That's fun. You have no
Yeah.
responsibility. What the hell?
But you and John were married.
Man, and what happens, I have to leave. I left my house with 18 years old. My girlfriend got pregnant. And I look at my dad, and my dad was, no, you gotta be responsible. What do I do? What do you do? You gotta raise a kid. What?
You're
Then
like,
I
"I'm
end up
doing
moving.
jujitsu."
But for me, it's the best thing because you have to grow up fast, man.
Yeah.
Now you have a baby on the way, and then suddenly like, oh, I have to pay rent. What the hell is rent?
Yeah, Chris
I
had
have
a
to
baby
pay
at
lights.
45, so
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like,
delayed youth.
I did a late start. Yeah.
which I'll be honest with you, I think we have to live life, enjoy it. Then you get into a stage that's like, okay, I want to slow down, I want a family, all this. I did the opposite.
Yeah.
There's blessing about being an older dad, and there's hard problems. When they run from you, you can't catch them
Yeah.
when you're an older dad.
Look, I don't know what belief you guys have, but everything is done in the right time. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
We're probably not ready mentally or professionally or, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Maybe for me it was the best thing to happen to move out of the house and grow up really fast. That's when I came here to the guys, you guys have a school that I gotta rent a place. Oh man, no. I remember when I took Carlos, we rent that place in the little shopping next to the Mrs. Gucci.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
became Whole Foods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then Carlos, oh, I don't know. It's like, man, there's no way back, man. We moved to this little tiny row. Then he goes, no, at least to have the place back there, the deck, and just in case it doesn't work. I said, Higa, there's no deck anymore. What? Everything that you see in the school used to be on the deck. Then he came here, it was nothing. It was just the wood. What happened to the mats in the school? Well, the canvas over. Oh, it's in the school.
Yeah.
It's like, man, there's no way back. You gotta make that work. And it did. It was before UFC. You have a lot of
Yeah.
students. You know what I mean?
So let's go back to your blue belt period, and then I want to hear about your purple, brown, and black period. So where were you trained? Was that when you were doing privates with Hickson in the morning?
No, I started
that-
training Hicks. I was purple belt already.
Purple belt.
Man, sometimes I forget so many things. I remember when I start training was in a Copacabana. And Copacabana was funny because 3 days a week, same gym, same room, was Carson Gracie. 3 days a week, Hollis Gracie.
Oh, okay.
We can only train 3 days. The same areas. They say, oh, Castle, it's your day. Then Hollis, that's your day. Then that was like that for a little while. I remember I was on the kids class with Carlinhos, then finished the kids class. I remember myself, and I'm sitting there waiting for the adults. And once in a while, hey, we're missing one. Come over here, kid. Then you be the dumb.
Yeah.
I'm the dumber. Okay, dude. But the good thing is you're not knowing, but you're watching
Yeah.
a lot of those guys. Then Hollis came in the class. Hey, I got great news. Carson's moving. Oh, man, that means you're going to have the school every day. Yeah. The downside is he's moving next door. Man, second floor, a door to the right is Hollis. Door to the left is Carson.
Wow.
Then when you walk in, you see both standing. Like a new student. Carson, the last guy was yours. Now this is mine.
That's funny.
That is funny.
But and the great thing is most of the finals were us against Carson.
Yeah.
We trained right next door. And back in those days, it's not much friendship. Or you train at Carson, like, I don't talk to you. And vice versa.
Yeah.
The max you say is hi.
I remember like back in those early days, for me as an American, like your first impression was this unity thing. Then you get a little closer, you see there's this rivalry everywhere going on.
But growing up having that rivalry made you better.
yeah.
It wasn't toxic. It was a rivalry just in the tournament, and I think it was more not being mature. What's wrong talking to somebody just because you train over there? I'm not going to talk to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think it was more built from the instructors towards you. They're like, oh, if I talk to a guy, I'm a traitor. What? Yeah. You can't say hi to somebody a traitor.
Yeah.
But wasn't that environment that we grew up? A lot of. Wasn't that many tournaments. Sometimes had maybe one in the whole year.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait for the whole next year, hoping the guy's still in the same ranking as you to fight in case you did not end up winning. And I gotta fight that guy again. That guy changed the belt. You only find out at the tournament.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, damn. But it was very competitive training. I don't think. Today it did improve, but I don't think in the early days here we could implement the same kind of training we had. It was rough, in a good way, but it was very competitive.
I was gonna say, what are the techniques? Like, what was the class like back then?
Man, it was simple. We have discussion sometimes about a technique that we saw in a tournament. We go over and train.
A lot of training.
A lot of sparring, man. A lot of sparring. And
Starting from the feet.
sparring from, or you kill or you die. It's not like, sometimes they call the general training. Everybody against the wall, okay, you against you, bah, go. Okay, next, you guys, boom.
Yeah, I remember a lot of that.
Always,
like, say
man,
you
always-
on the mat.
I don't think a
you're
lot
done.
of people in the early days here were ready for this. It was very rough. I think in the early days, if I remember, most of our students were older people.
A lot of them were.
Everybody like 35, 40 years old.
There was a lot of older guys. Well, it was this thing, like I always say, the first popularity wave happened right after UFC 1
It was
in the States.
I think it just established
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu
And then
for-
the guys
for
from
sure.
Hapkido Club, Jeet Kune Do guys, that was who was interested in that first wave.
Most of the people that has a background in some kind of martial artist.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, how this skinny guy
How these guys beating us so
survive
easy.
and does
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think it became like a mainstream thing. Because I remember we used to go to schools, visits,
Yeah.
and some of the instructors like, I don't want to learn this. That's good for you. I think you already have the stand-up, but you don't have anything on the ground. And a lot of guys turn down the possibility to have one of us teaching
Yeah.
a class in their school. And after the UFC, hey, can you come and teach at my school? Like, no, a guy will have to come to my school.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it happened. But I have a lot of doors that close for us.
But Chuck was good though.
Man, Chuck, we end up having a chance to meet Carlos Norris. That's his real name. Not the actor Chuck Norris.
Dr. Chuck Norris.
We met his family. We went to his house. We slept in his house. We met his kids, his sons, and the brothers. I remember when he met his daughter when she was already 20-something years old. He just found out he has a daughter. He never knew.
Yeah.
I was in Texas with him. He was nervous. Like, what happened? Oh, I got this letter from my daughter. Like, what? You have a daughter? And she was, I think, older. Not sure than the kids. And it was when he was in a war somewhere and had
When he
one
was
night.
in the Army in Korea, it was.
Then, and it was me, Richard Norton, and him. It was right on the first episode of Texas Rangers.
I love Richard Norton. He's such a cool dude.
And I was there and I very broken English trying to understand, but I always said, Chuck, if it's your child, I mean, I would love any child. I wish I had more kids. But once the girl walking in, I look at the girl, look at him, he's like, man, that's you in a female version. She look like you more than your other kids. Like, whoa, I don't think you need DNA test, anything.
That's funny.
And the cool thing is his daughter, she did not want anything from him, just to meet him.
Just to meet him.
No money, no nothing, just to meet him. But then he kind of fell in love with her because she's such a Oh, cool. In a way, for me, it would be really cool. Imagine later on, it's like, oh, I have another child that I never knew.
Right. Yeah, it'd be wild.
And the child turned out to be a very good person. That would be an addition to your life.
Yeah.
But Chuck was, I don't know, the time he started training Jiu-Jitsu first, was he wasn't doing well in his personal life. Man, they got hang out every day at our house. The Avenue B.
Yeah.
Comes to train over there, and it's like, then we looked at each other like, Chuck Norris, he used to watch his movies and Sundays, and then, oh, Chuck, let's go out and eat something. Remember, used to take him to a place, used to, right here, organic tacos, and
I know that. Yeah. That.
used to have carrot juice. He's like,
Yeah, yeah.
Let's drink carrot juice. Oh, it's good for you.
That
Then
natural place.
Yeah, and then we used to take him around, and he said, oh, can you guys come to my, he was very lonely. Because I understand today is these people are very, they don't know who are their friends.
Yeah.
I don't know if he likes me because I have money or I'm famous or and then when we go out, we pay the bill. We don't let him pay.
Yeah.
No, guys, you guys are, we invited you. And he was surprised that, well, I don't want anything from you. You already paid for your class.
Yeah.
Then he made the academy to the Valley. That's
Yeah.
why we have the school in the Valley, because
right.
we go there and remember, he goes like, oh, it's a school for you guys to teach. You're like, what? Chuck, this is a Ventura Boulevard. We cannot afford this. Oh, no, it's my building. Then Bob Wall was the manager. You guys
Yeah.
just pay the maintenance.
Oh, Bob Wall. Yeah.
Something like the rent would be, I don't know, back then, $3,000 a month. And we just pay a couple $100.
That's cool.
Then he did the opening ceremony. That he was there doing a demonstration, and because we had no idea how to run a business, we missed such an amazing opportunity to have hundreds of students.
Yeah.
People show up, and we're like, we don't have time. We didn't know what to do. People just say, I want to start class.
Yeah.
I remember a period where at what I call the hole in the wall academy, it was that little academy, no windows, just a door. It was the last year where you guys were all together. The phone would ring off the hook. It would just ring. You'd answer it.
And
can I get the Machados to come over to Louisiana? Like just every school ever was calling you guys.
I've been in almost every city in America in the early days.
Yeah.
I had no idea where I was.
You guys were going
Then you
everywhere.
go, I went to People's Garage, People's Warehouse, a lot of weird places, man. A lot of weird
Yeah, I went
places.
to some weird places.
But everybody wants to do martial arts. And I'm like, wow.
Sleeping on people's couches. Yeah.
For $200.
And I learned, I went the first time, I went there, I can stay in my house. Okay. Then I go to his house, and he has like 5 German Shepherds walking in the house, and I'm lying in bed. The dog jumps into the bed. It was like pushing the dog away. It's like, man, next time they call, now put him in a hotel. I don't care where.
Yeah.
It took Chris a long
Long
time
I
to
don't
get
want
to that
stay.
point.
Hell no.
Way too long.
I remember
Sleeping
once-
on-
I don't want to be part of anyone's personal life.
I was sleeping on a couch and I kept feeling something weird. And I took out some old plate with spaghetti on it that a person had left on the couch. Had one bathroom I had to creep across to, and I'm like, this couch business has to stop.
no.
You were probably like 50 when that happened.
Probably like
But,
50,
yeah,
yeah.
and I was very, and back those days also, not much they could pay for seminars.
Yeah.
And at the same time also not much you're making.
Yeah.
At least they pay for the trip and you come back with some money. It's
Yeah.
like, wow,
It seemed like it was cool.
and it was like, wow. And we catch a flight, and it was cool to fly back to this airport is, last thing you want to do is travel. But I was very interested, man. I've been so many little towns, and I don't even know the names. It was really,
How much of this like experience of you coming to America did you sort of have a vision for what this was all going to be, and how much
Yeah,
of it
no-
was just like going
nobody
with
had
what
an
was
idea
happening?
how it's going to be 10 years from now. No clue at all. I had no idea iPhone will exist.
Yeah.
The internet just, whatever you do, the internet just blows like out of a proportion.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Yep. It changed it.
Good or bad, it's just
The internet changed
and I
jiu-jitsu
I
for sure.
think being one of the first ones to start jiu-jitsu here, a lot of this new generation don't even know who we are. They just know, oh, who's winning? This guy.
Yeah.
Very few people don't like to read much. They don't know the history. But I think we open a floodgate for people to come here already be invited to have a school.
Yeah.
Man, we started in a garage.
Yeah.
And we made all the way.
And some of us never left.
But you want to hear something funny? I live now in Hollywood with my girlfriend, Hollywood Hills. I was working out in the garage. I bought some matches for me. And the neighbor goes like, I know who you are. I says, they're good or bad? And I go, no, it's good. He started training with me in my garage.
That's cool.
Then I built the garage. Now I have privates in my own house.
Yeah, it's nice, huh?
I thought of private before I came here today. I said, hey, you got to come early tomorrow. My own house. I mean, it's different group of people. I have my students in the valley. But I said, man, now that I live, it's some days like 45 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have brand new guys never trained before come to mine.
That's cool. Yeah.
And one of the guys that I taught for, he's my student for over 20 years. He has a lot of money. He's like, I want to train jiu-jitsu. I said, man, I don't want to drive to the valley. That's okay, I'll rent the house next to you. That's my neighbor. We train every day. He walks in, we train, he goes back home. I was like, yeah, it's good to have a lot of money. Not money, a lot of money. It's like, yeah. I can afford you. It's like, okay. Every day. Let's train every day.
Yeah. We need a few of those.
Yeah.
It's really, man, that was, then I got a neighbor that walks his dog. Then I got this guy. Now I have one guy I met in a restaurant. He saw shirts. Like, oh, then I brought him in. Now he's bringing another friend. But I told my girlfriend, no, you cannot have too many people. Just 5 people, that's it. The house is good because it has a first floor. You have already a room with a bathroom. They don't get into the house. They come in the garage, go there, change, come back. And
Well, that's
Yeah,
what's
we
like,
have a bathroom here.
yeah.
it's like, I don't want
Right in the
anybody
corner.
walking in the house. No.
I made sure I put a bathroom in the corner.
When we first started back here, people would walk through, but then we trained everybody to come in the gate.
But it's so cool, man. Think about it. You don't have to pay rent. I mean, we can think, man. We're original martial artists.
Yeah.
I never did until, I trained for, I don't know, over 10 years until I started making my first paycheck.
Yeah.
I just realized, like I told my cousin, I'm moving out of my house. What happened? I'm going to get married, I guess. I need to pay rent. What that means? I need to get paid. Oh!
Yeah.
Then he gave me like some ridiculous amount of money. I look at him like, come on.
Yeah.
I made a lot of money for you. Now at least be fair. Give me something that I can eat. Because I told my dad, I said, Dad, you know what? I don't want any help from you. Oh, I can't. Let me clean out my mess. But if I need help or rescue me, I know I can count on you. But that was the best thing. He's okay, good.
That's cool.
It's interesting. I feel like your story, it's not like there was this large concerted or like coordinated effort to like grow this whole entire thing. It's sort of like
we came here was so crazy because I remember me and Carlos, we used to go to a gymnastic place somewhere near Palos Verdes. They have a big gymnastic.
Yeah, the spring floor.
Yeah, I was like, man, and me and Carlos going there, and I don't know how he find that place, and we're there for 2-3 days a week in the morning. No student. We just train. We train for an hour.
with each other.
Nobody
Wait
show
for someone
up.
to show up.
Okay, we come back Wednesday. And Wednesday, 0 student.
Well, it's like in those olden days, it seemed like it was like pulling teeth to get people to want to do this.
We used to go to every parking lot and put flyers in the cars.
Yeah.
We're walking around.
was
and the
hard.
security guy, hey, you cannot do that. The guy, whatever in charge of the parking.
Yeah.
I mean, just putting. Today, you see everywhere you go, people put stuff in your car. Now, go Home Depot, they have business card of everything. It's like, well, that's us.
But it's like you knew once you could get them there, roll with them, and they would feel totally controlled, no matter
were you
how much they had.
On Avenue B, when I came for the month vacation, on Saturday, usually we have a lot of people and they park their car in front of the house.
Yeah.
A lot of cars.
Yeah.
One of the neighbors complained,
neighbors-
Yeah.
Bad, yeah.
Neighbors don't like it.
right?
Yeah.
Then somehow that they have the garage was back in the alley, right?
Yeah,
Then they had
it's
the
in the
garage
alley.
half open and we train everything. Suddenly see two cops
Yeah.
going like this. then we open the garage and we're like,
I remember
yes,
that.
sir. And he's like, what are you guys doing? Then we explain to him, we're doing the martial art, and the guy like, wow, it's so different. Yeah, mainly doing the ground, and we go, it might be good for the cops. I don't recall how long after that we got invited. We went to the police station, Redondo Beach,
Yeah.
teaching
Yeah.
all the cops. And I was looking to my brother, I was like, man, you know we're illegals, right? And we are inside of a police station teaching them. I go like, what? We cannot say anything wrong, gotta be straight. And just realize that, right? It's like, oh yeah. They invited us, like, I know, but they can arrest you and send you back home too, right?
It could have been a trap.
Man, that was then we start getting cops
Yeah.
to actually train for us.
And a lot of cops came. I won't say a lot because most cops don't like to admit that they can get their asses kicked. But the ones who would come would get hooked.
I would say I have about maybe 20 guys, a little more in my school.
More now.
The police
yeah, a
officers.
lot
Oh, yeah.
more now.
We try many times to have a program for them, but they always say we're broke.
Yeah.
And when we sat down and talked to one of the guys in charge, oh, we in debt, and I said, I bet you are, because they wrongfully force you guys being sued, and
Yeah.
you guys gotta pay every year almost $100 million for stupidity
Yeah.
instead of investing in quality.
Yeah.
But I guess you're broke. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't want to. Back those days, we charged them $30,000 a year for twice a week class, specific for them. Oh, we cannot afford. Well, okay, we're not coming.
Then you'll pay $10 million.
And they have
Bucks,
to.
yeah.
No, it was over $100 million yearly for settlements
Settlements.
of some. It's absurd. You see today, 20 guys jump on top of one, and
Yeah.
they could not get done.
Adam Trainers really helped bring it into.
But it's
law
still
enforcement.
very small
Yes.
percentage of people actually
Small percentage
practicing.
want to do it. Yeah.
Man, it's for their own benefit. I remember teaching. They made, I don't know how they call that. They invited a lot of martial artists, different styles.
Oh, at the LAPD Academy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for us to show.
Yeah. Yep.
Because until today, they bring you scenarios. Hey, we have a situation like this. With your expertise, what would you do?
Right. And they're asking each style.
Then they
what
have
you
some
do.
guys like Kiro, they go and. we're quiet sitting like, I hold my hand and I punch him in the face. That's me. It's not gonna work. But amazingly, the guys, then because a lot of guys understand they're good at books, but they never actually been on the streets.
Yeah.
They don't know what a real altercation actually is.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, it's very interesting. Oh, I like this guy. Like, man, it's not about like him or not. That works for you, or actually.
Yeah.
Then we show a technique, then everything that we show, we have to go to the ground. There's no way you can arrest somebody if you fight me.
Yep.
Oh, let me put a handcuff.
No.
If you're fighting, you're not going to be able to.
Got to go to the ground. Yeah.
And I'm exposing myself, and I mean, you know. And we take the guy to the ground. Then one guy goes like, I don't think that is going to work. And it's like, yes, sir. Do you have any idea how much it costs a police uniform? How much it costs to wash the police uniform? I did not know much English, but I look at my brother. I was like, hey, and Carlos, is that what he's saying? And he's worried about the uniform?
Oh.
And my brother said, sir, with all the respect, I don't care about the uniform. What I care is about the police officer's life.
Yeah.
I cannot buy another officer, but I'm sure we can afford to buy another uniform.
Yeah.
Then you see the guy, he got pissed because you ask something so not so smart, and you get a good response. Then everybody look at him like, yeah, who cares about the uniform? Then we felt, I don't know, in everywhere we went, we saw it's a lot of politics, a lot of ego.
Yes.
You know
a
what I mean?
lot of
Oh, I
egos.
brought these people in. No, I brought them in. It's like, man, at the end is what is the most beneficial for your people to have over here? Jiu-Jitsu not working is great. Get something else. But if something that will benefit you, you know what I mean? There was very strange time on this.
Yeah, it was. It's still kind of like most agencies. There's
But it's
a
a lot better
handful of
now,
guys
though.
that want to do it, and then there's a handful that doesn't want to do it, and then some of them you got to convince.
A lot better
there's
now.
no like requirement.
I
that
No.
Going back to your question about the blue belt, right? Blue belt. Let's see what I remember. Remember, I was able to get my yellow belt. I was in the kids class. I used to watch. Carlinhos used to be the instructor. Helion used to be his assistant. Then I have Hollis teaching the adults, and also having Carlinhos and Helion as assistant instructors. I remember seeing Hagan also as a yellow belt, and I think he got, I'm not sure, orange belt and become a blue belt right away.
Yeah.
And he got pretty good really quick. And the good thing, he was always very tall compared to all of us. Then we have, I don't recall how long I did train until I got my blue belt. Evidently, I was over 15 years old. You cannot be a blue belt before you have turned 16.
Yeah.
Then you can be a blue belt. But I got my yellow belt, and I think I stopped there and just training. And to be honest, in the past, who cares about the belt?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have the belt. Oh, can I borrow one? Then put the belt in train.
Yeah.
Never in my life I worry about the belts. A lot of trainers, you go there training for white belt, and you're already a higher belt, but I forgot my belt, it's dirty.
Yeah.
It becomes such I'm 3 stripes or whatever
The
belt
Americans started caring about the belts.
we never even have a stripe in our belts. We see the guy's belt is old. He must be experienced blue belt. His belt is all dirty. It's like, wow. Then you can tell a new blue belt. The belt is always brand new. It's like, that's how we used to measure the timing on training. I don't recall how many years until I got my blue belt. But a blue belt, I was there for quite a time. Man, few years blue belt. Then I think was, in the time we used to train, it was different. We train every day, 7 days a week, sometimes hours every day. It's not even fair because people train 3 days a week for an hour. Oh, I train 3 days a week. Yeah, we used to train 5 hours one day. We used to hang out in the school.
Yeah.
When people are young, though, too, right? Youth
look,
allows you to do.
You don't have internet, right? Boy, I grew up in Brazil. Had 3 TV stations. Sucks. I don't watch TV. I go to watch a movie, but no TV. I mean, our time, the distraction we had was physical activity. It's not sitting in front of TV and get out of shape and unhealthy. No, we be active. And my mom understand that, man, I have 5 boys in my house. These kids, they got to do something or they're going to kill each other. Then martial art was the way. Then we like it. The way we see is if you have somebody in your family who practice any kind of sport, baseball, and he succeed well, chances are your whole family will look into baseball as a way to the next generation, like, oh, I want to play like my uncle. Then the next one, I want to be, and everybody's going to go towards baseball. Our family was jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And you look around, they have all these people that are already very famous, regardless.
Yeah.
And they already have a very successful schools. Then everybody just like, I want to do this. And when you're a kid, you don't realize much where you just like the environment. But as you start understanding the art, it becomes, oh, that's how I want to live my life. It's a way of life.
Yeah.
And we always have that reinforcement about our nutrition, which was amazing. I mean, my life. I never drink alcohol in my life.
You
Never
guys are
smoke.
super healthy. I remember
Nothing.
that, yeah.
Never. And people, man, how old are you? I'm 56. Well, you look good 56. I guess so. Because I'm still able to train with all my students, go head to head.
Yeah.
Because, not because I knew when we get older, it's just, it's your habit, discipline.
Yeah.
I just felt my uncles to say, okay, study something. Find out what benefit alcohol will give you for what you do. Then you start looking, it's like, nothing. Okay, why you drink? I don't want to drink. It's not going to help me. Same thing, smoke. Go ahead, check out the smoke. Then you have people in the family that did all those things and the outcome wasn't good.
Yeah.
And you looked at examples like, man, I don't want that for me. You know, they could be, but unfortunately, the way they're going is not going to be happen for them. Then in the practice and the train, I remember I got my blue belt. Then I got my purple belt. But again, we train, man. I don't think anybody back then trained more than we did. We have a canvas in our trunk of our car, and I was a gi. Our goal was to see somebody from another school and invited them to train. And if they say, oh, I don't have a gi, oh, I have extra one. Oh, we don't have a mat. We have the canvas you can put on the grass. And we'll do everything to make sure we can have a chance to spar somebody from another school, because even though Jiu-Jitsu styles are very different.
Yes, especially pre-internet.
You know?
Each school, each little group had their own unique style.
Then, and Jiu-Jitsu was interesting back then because you have to remember the technique. You don't have anybody filming or taking pictures. No, you have to, oh, Chris hold me this way. I'm not sure the hand was like this or like that. And I was a little position. Then you ask Hicks, the guy was holding like this. Exactly like this. Because sometimes you hold his one thing, you hold his another thing. He's like, oh, I don't remember. I got to train with him again. You know what I mean? I got to be cut in that position again to make sure I come back to you and have some way out of that.
Yep.
Then purple belt, I think it was 3 months purple belt. Then I jumped to brown belt because we have a tournament coming up, and my coach said, no, you have to fight that guy. Then purple, I jumped up, brown belt. Okay.
And this is from Holes?
Carlinhos. From Halls, I got a yellow belt. That's all I got. And from that point on, Carlinhos, and I got a purple belt.
Holes died when you were a brown belt or a black belt?
Blue belt.
Blue belt when Holes died, okay.
And I remember exactly when we get the news. We're in Teresópolis, and we are in my bedroom. I was Helion, Hegan, and me. And my aunt, Helion's mom, Tia, she came into our room and said, look, Hollis had an accident, but he's okay, he's in the hospital. Then everybody like, what? As a kid, we grew up and watched the older generation as superheroes.
Yeah.
We never imagined this guy's never going to die. He'd never get hurt. It's so crazy. Like literally a Superman. Superman never get hurt. That's how we used to look, those guys. Then some of the guys said, oh, he broke his neck and died. What? How? Impossible. That's not possible. We question ourselves, no, this is a lie. No, we don't want to believe that could happen to the guy. And I remember exactly when my aunt came in and we like a little suspicious in the hospital. And then later on the same day, oh, he passed. What? 32 years old. Yeah. But some people, in that case, he was never afraid of anything. If he was, he never showed. Yeah. And he was, man, he was a little guy, 150 pounds, maybe, skinny. But when he look at you, you fear him. Big blue eyes look at you like, something's wrong. I don't want to mess with this guy. You know, it's not big, but I don't want to anything with him. There was like, was the worst thing that could happen in our family was him pass so young. Because the craziness was this. He was son of Carlos, but he was raised by Helio.
Halio, yeah.
that made him to be right in the middle. This way, everybody gets along.
Yeah.
And leadership, man, is not some title that somebody go, oh, you're the leader now. No, it's something that people see in you. I mean, they come and start asking you. It's something natural that you developed or you're born, but it's people look at you as like, man, I'm gonna follow this guy. I don't know why, but I feel that safety and security towards this person. He never asked for any, but he was, and he was an example of studying jiu-jitsu like nobody ever did.
Yeah.
Goes and train wrestling, goes training somewhere.
Bob
travel around the
Anderson
world.
brought him to the
He
States.
put himself in those
did Greco,
situations, and I don't know if you guys got him. He got the guy he just brought. Keep bringing his other styles for the growth of what we do.
Yeah.
I don't remember anybody else doing that. And
Well, isn't that what inspired Hegan to do wrestling when he came? Because that's he'd
that guy
say,
inspires everybody in the family.
yeah,
You have someone that even his even his opponents loved him.
Yeah.
Nobody disliked this guy. How? Because he never disrespect anybody. He was always fight with somebody, you win, shake the hand, and good, life goes on. But he was a guy that is never had anybody hate him or dislike him, which is very rare seeing people, right?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, today, if somebody doesn't say anything bad about you or don't like you, you're not doing good in your life.
Oh,
That
thanks
seems to be the
thanks
next
for letting me know.
It's true, man. You're doing well, somebody's going to say some, that Chris, they don't even
explains
know
a
you.
lot.
There's always somebody.
I
Yeah,
always have somebody say,
always
man,
a
this guy
hater.
doesn't like me, I don't even know him.
yeah.
If he
Yeah.
doesn't like me, I guess it's a good thing, right? I don't know him, then I don't want to know him anymore. But it's funny, if you do well in today's environment, it's somebody always has something to say. Oh, this guy. And
Did Haleo and Carlos? They both lived at the compound house.
their house was in Teresópolis.
Teresópolis,
The house
yeah.
has 21 bedrooms.
21
Wow.
bedrooms. Yeah.
And it was interesting because for a period of time, all the kids actually lived over there.
Yeah.
It has 21.
And Helson was the first one to move away to Hawaii, or
I think he went to Hawaii.
yeah.
And I don't recall it was him or Horim. Horim was here also in the
Yeah.
early days.
Florian came in '83.
Man,
No,
it was-
Richard Bresler said that he started training with him in '79. I read the book. That's the only reason why I know.
Oh, okay.
Horim was here for very,
Yeah.
very early days. And going back, man, I don't recall why he moved or what was the reason or what he wants. I spoke to him on when I had the pandemic. I started calling some of the guys, hey, let's do a live Instagram.
Yeah.
Then I spoke to Horim. And then that's when he told me his story. He was in Hawaii and he came here in the early days and used to clean dishes, used to be cleaning houses. And one of the houses, I think someone there was connected to the movie business and invited him. And he appears in a lot of shows in the early days. And
Yeah.
then he started teaching jiu-jitsu to the co-workers. And suddenly he met this guy. And he's a very smart guy.
Yeah. But charismatic guy too.
Oh, yeah, very, very convincing. You sit
Yes.
down next to him.
I love the guy. When I'm around Horion, I'm sold on him. He's a
And the
great
funny
guy.
thing is, until today, it's so cool. He messaged me. He sent me something from, I guess, the 60s. I don't even, I think I was already born, the 70s. His father used to go to a radio station, and people call and ask questions to Helio Gracie. And I guess one of the things that people did not know back then is when he mentioned that to his students on the beginning of that idea to go on the radio station, he called his students and said, hey, you don't have to tell you're my student, but call this station and ask questions.
Sounds familiar.
Right? And one of the students was my dad.
Oh, okay.
And he just sent me a recording from that time.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't heard the voice of my dad for 30 35 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was so cool. No, I'm going to send you a surprise. And
It's amazing he still has that.
he went to the files, and he has a lot of stuff from here, Gracie.
That's so cool.
And he sent me the
Horim's a
voice.
curator. He really did curate with jiu-jitsu
Man,
well.
look, the way we learn jiu-jitsu is not to teach people how to fight. It's to teach people how not to fight. It's to teach people that life is a lot more than just a fight.
Yeah.
Because realistic, we don't need to learn anything to fight. Stand in front of somebody, swing your arms, or hug and headlock, you're fighting. But the idea of teaching people to live a better life, and what the martial art does, and our objective was to give you confidence. Because, man, once you feel good about yourself, everything in your life becomes possible.
Yeah.
Think about the early days. Did you ever thought you were going to be teaching jiu-jitsu?
No, I never thought.
A lot of the instructors today, 90%, never even dream they'll be teaching jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But I think it captures you in a way that, boy, I feel so happy in my life, so
Yeah.
good.
It takes you.
And without even thinking much, I'm start doing that for other people.
Yeah.
That's the way I learned jiu-jitsu from my family members.
Yeah.
It's not how to fight, go to a tournament, no. It's to improve. And consequently, everybody in the surround will have that impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like I meet people all the time, and I always think, God, that guy needs jiu-jitsu.
And I tell jiu-jitsu to me is and I was talking to someone on a magazine, what jiu-jitsu means? I said, man, jiu-jitsu is a magical word. A lot of our students, if I go to approach him and the guy's unhealthy and out of shape, I say, hey man, you're too heavy, you're fat, you have to lose weight. Do you want to get better jiu-jitsu? Oh yeah. You should lose some weight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get better. Yo, 100%. Realistic. It's not about jiu-jitsu. It's about him getting a bit healthier. Same thing, man, you've been drinking a lot. If you slow down a little, jiu-jitsu is going to take off. Oh, really? Because jiu-jitsu becomes very addictive.
Yes.
It's not just because the training aspect is the environment that you're living in.
Yeah.
One of the few places in today's time that nobody uses the damn phone.
Yeah. that's
We're
true.
actually talking or looking in someone's eyes and, hey, what's up? Hey, how's your day? And
You're right. Everybody, everywhere else, people were staring at our
Nobody
phones.
on the mat ever has their phone out.
It's at least
a
an
miracle.
hour. It's at least an hour day that people disconnect from the. And unfortunately, the environment is not the healthiest environment that we're living in.
No, it's
But
not.
people
100%.
disconnected, and man, all we want is have a chat, have a good time, train, sweat. Oh man, you're on bar, you did was awesome. Oh, you squeezed the hell out of me. At the end of the day, everybody's happy because it's almost like every train you do is like filter all the bad energy, all the bad thoughts that you have, and you leave the school, you're fresh.
Yeah.
And that's when, as an instructor, you can go to your student and say, man, that was the best training I ever had here. And when you heard Bruce Lee say, empty your mind, after jiu-jitsu train, your mind is empty.
Yeah.
That's why anything you tell your student after the train will stuck with him. He'll leave the class, he's like, wow, man, that was my best train. And man, think about how many people that come to your school, they work on their environment, work environment they have. Nobody even say hi, don't even know his name. That guy come to your school, hey Chris, what's up? How's your day? Even that guy feel like, he knows my name. This guy who's famous know my name and ask me how I'm feeling. Nobody does that to me. I want to come here every day now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't realize, but people look at you and they have a lot of what you do, what you say, and how you move, and this admire in a good way.
Yeah.
And when you approach them and say something that you know who they are, and sit down, talk to the student, they gotta look like, is he actually sitting next to me and talking to me?
Yeah.
And they looking like,
And you're like,
and
shit,
then
I
we're
better be
the
a good
same.
role
And I also,
model.
man, we're no better than anybody. We're the same. And you're much better than I am in what you do. I'm a white belt in your environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People feel, that's why I had the geese back in those days all the same. The same old fabric car looks old,
Yeah.
looks dirty, but everybody looked the same. And that was the purpose in martial arts.
Yes.
Not how much I have or what I worth. No, we're exactly human beings there, and we're still being in schools, in jiu-jitsu schools. That great environment that art creates, evidently start with the instructor,
Yeah.
and everybody feels happy about it.
It's amazing how big jiu-jitsu's gotten. We were at the Masters Worlds the other month. And
Like
I can't
15,000?
believe how big it is.
Do you remember the first jiu-jitsu tournament ever in California?
It was the Pans at Aviation, right? No.
Is the one that I put into LAPD Academy.
Oh, that's right. I
It
remember
was the
that
first
one.
one.
Yeah.
I took the mats out of my school and put in a U-Haul
Yeah.
truck
At the old
and
LAPD
chairs.
Academy. That's
And
right.
go there, have a thing. I don't know if it was 2 mats or 1 mat,
Yeah.
just one big mat. And
The
we get those little.
Russian guys came.
You
remember
have
those
those
guys?
little. I think so. Yeah, we have those little PVC around with
Yeah,
banners.
the little barriers.
Like, you gotta get sponsors, and nobody paid nothing.
Yeah.
We just put it looks like good. Oh,
Yeah.
I got a lot of sponsors.
And everybody would crowd the mat.
That was the first tournament we had in America.
That was
was
the
the
first one.
LAPD.
Okay.
Then after that, we have Joe Moreira
Yep.
putting some.
Joe Moreira had.
Then I got a call. Joe Moreira comes like, man, can you help me out? I need to do another pans. And we did here in Redondo Beach.
The aviation one.
Yeah. That turned out to be
That was big.
3 times more people than supposed to.
Yeah. A lot of Brazilians came up.
We are short in medals because I call Carlinhos in Brazil, and Carlinhos' deal was all the guys that in America that pay, you keep the money, I'll keep the money for all the guys in Brazil. And I said, okay, I need to make medals. How many people from Brazil? 150, and we have about 150 in America, 300. Then base in 300 people, I order the medals, which takes sometimes 30 days to be ready.
Yeah.
Great. He brought from Brazil 500 people.
Oh, gosh.
Jeez.
Wow.
Then we're the ones that did not know how to organize tournaments because we did not have enough medals. I mean, he
Yeah.
blamed everything on us.
Yeah, that was a hard.
And I go like,
competition.
wow. Then he called, hey, let's do a tournament next year. It's like, no, good luck. You're on your own. I don't want to deal with you.
Yeah, it was complicated in those days. And no internet, no phones. So y'all had to do it by posting flyers. And
But was it interesting? Like, it's amazing how big Jiu-Jitsu is today. But one thing that I missed, and I think everyone that competes, on the early days, you only have 2 mats. Every fight is a special fight.
yes.
From the blue belt to the black belt.
Yeah.
45 mats.
Yeah.
I have 10 students fight at the same time.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, man, you're on your own. I cannot be running from 45 to number 1,
Yeah.
I mean, it becomes so big that it's not like I would say cozy anymore in a way that you can actually appreciate.
Yeah. It's lost its intimacy. I would
when
say.
go to an event like that, you can't see a fight. You got to choose one mat. Whoever fights there, that's what I'm watching.
Yeah.
I still think it's amazing how, like, you can be at a big event like that and be a white belt or a blue belt, and you're competing on the same mats as like the elite level athletes in
Man,
the activity.
you-
Because there's no other sport that you can do that's like that.
One of the
Yeah, that's true.
happiest day of my life competing was growing up and training and see Rickson, and he was the guy, and we do a tournament and have 2 mats. I was fighting 1 mat as a brown belt, then they call Rickson to fight on the other mat. And I go, middle of the fight, I'm looking at Rickson coming, he's like, oh shit, I'm fighting the same mat as him. He's right there and I'm right here. And the funny thing is, Horim was filming my fight. Then before my fight ends, oh, Rickson's coming. I took that as a compliment. Then he goes back and forth. He's like, okay. He's like, okay. Oh, the fight he's over. Man,
That's cool.
But to me, it was a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
He was a kid, and you see him fighting. Suddenly, you're now closing that gap, and you're on the same event as him and fighting
Right. Because
at
just
the
like
same time.
3 years earlier, you're a kid watching him with Zulu fighting or something. Yep.
And you go like, man, I'm on the same mat as him. It's like, whoa, what's going on over here? I was like,
Yeah, one of my like blue belt matches, like a no-gi worlds match, there was like a famous Gordon Ryan match happening behind my mat. So if you're looking at the video of my match in the background, you see that one going on with all the people paying attention to that one, which is fine, like you're saying, but it's just like a unique thing.
It's a great feeling, man. You are in arena, competing, fighting. You became a warrior.
Yeah.
You're no longer just watching. You're actually doing.
Yeah, but you can't like sign up for a basketball league where like Kobe Bryant's next door like, doing the thing and you're on the same
Man,
court. You know?
Jiu-Jitsu brings people together, man.
Yeah,
Jiu-Jitsu
cool.
brings a lot of people together. And think about it, we're fighting, but not really. We're just getting together with people.
We even need white belts. It like helps to go back over
Interesting
everything
is in
again.
Brazil, we never had a white belt tournament.
Right.
No, that was an American thing that started. I think it
Because
was
The money
bad.
thing.
most
The
of,
money thing.
80% of competitors, white belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now?
Back in those early days. And now it's still almost half is
Yeah.
a white belt.
Wow, that's interesting. Wait, but you said there wasn't white belt tournament.
In Brazil.
There was not white belt tournament.
White belts weren't ready to compete.
Because they don't know anything.
They
They're
don't know
white belts.
anything.
Man,
You're gonna get hurt.
and I'm sure a lot of white belts end up stop training jiu-jitsu after tournament. They say, man, that's not for me.
Yeah, it's too much when you're a white belt.
You know what I
Get a
mean?
lot of the white
It's a lot of. I mean, that's not their fault. They just don't know what to do. They're gonna use everything they have.
Yeah.
But it also pushed the blue belt back further,
It did.
right? So white belts now maybe would have been a blue belt
Yeah.
back then.
You got these 4-stripe white belts that used to be wrestlers, and they've been training for 3 years, and they're still white
You
belts.
know, and I think that's the benefit
years.
when you come from another style martial arts and
Yeah.
start over. Then you already a lot of them you bring a little baggage with, especially wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a white belt wrestling in a tournament, he's gonna have a great time.
Yep.
White belt doesn't know what to do,
Yep.
but that's why, as our concern in the early days was safety. Because I never see so many injuries in a jiu-jitsu tournament as I see today.
Yeah.
All belts. I was one day when they have the Long Beach one. I was sitting and in front of me has a little hospital,
Yeah.
and man, keep coming. Oh, my shoulder. Then the guy's foot this way, and the guy's knee messed up, and the guy's arm this way. I was like, what the hell? It looks like a MMA.
Do you think
Not a
there's anything
jiu-jitsu.
specific that you can pinpoint as to why you think there's so many more injuries
Look,
today?
a lot of incredible jiu-jitsu fighters out there. But in a tournament, you see a lot of missing the transition. From 1 to 3 is no transition, it's cranky.
Yeah.
It's
Too
no
much
smooth.
strength.
Yeah.
Okay.
Explosion.
Man, my time, everybody looked like him. Glass, normal. Today, you go to a tournament, not saying bad thing about you, no.
Too many abs?
But today, people like, when you go like
All
that,
the abs?
then you go like, what happened to this guy? 10 years ago, he was like us. Now, wow, it's incredible hook. and if you have the strength for more than you try not to, you end up teaching your muscle to muscle by lifting weight.
Yeah.
That is a normal reaction. Then you see a lot of cranking instead of smooth.
Right.
That's why the lightweights are more interesting fights to see
Yes.
because you're able to see the transition and going. When you get a certain weight class, it's like whoa, whoever has more juice has the edge.
We were all pretty fit when we were young. All of us had washboard abs.
Not like today.
Not
Hell no.
You don't see
The veins were
45-year-olds.
popping out. Yeah, the 45-year-olds
That's-
even have the abs.
The difference is like
We
in our 20s.
don't get me wrong. We are normal
Yeah.
people, not super people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
These guys
but
are on
but
juice.
understand is in general, all sports are enhancing their
They're
performance.
all, yes.
It's not just jiu-jitsu.
No, not just jiu-jitsu.
All sports, and I was reading the other day, even
Special
the
vitamins.
Olympics and all those big organizations, they allow you to be in a certain level
Yeah.
You cannot be above,
Cannot be
but it can be in
yeah.
a certain level because at the end,
HGH,
it's
testosterone.
a better competition,
Yeah.
it's a better show, and all of this.
So you're not abusing. You're using, but
Yeah.
not abusing.
Exactly.
It's the abuser that gets in trouble with everything.
But it's amazing because jiu-jitsu is an amateur sport still.
Yeah.
Tinge of it's professional now.
And I'm so happy to see some people are able to make a living fighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we all know that you have a school doesn't mean you're making a living out of your school. It's you kill a lion every class.
Yeah.
No?
Your peak comp years was Abu Dhabi days.
I think that gives me more exposure for sure.
I loved watching those fights.
That
Where you'd
was-
sub 8 guys in a row.
I used to live here in Redondo Beach, and it's funny. It was Rico Rodriguez.
Yeah, yeah,
He went to 1998 event.
yeah.
And he came back to our school like, oh man, you gotta go. They pay $10,000, and we're like, what? They pay you to compete?
Yeah.
Oh, they pay the trip. It's like, where is it? Then nobody knew Abu Dhabi where it was. Oh, the Emirates, and then like, okay, and then we actually got the invitation.
Yeah.
Then you go there. I remember we arrived a week before the event because the hours are brutal. But it was fun, man. I think was a chance to compete in an event that nobody knew after the Abu Dhabi how the exposure everybody's going to get.
I mean, that was the first professional.
I would say, man, the first
Tournament.
one that actually pays.
The first one that paid. Yep. That
Man,
was
we
the
had a
big one.
5-star hotel,
Wow.
food, everything being treated. I didn't know I got a sponsor when I arrived there. Somebody gave me a T-shirt with some names, and every day I collect some money. Somebody comes with an envelope. Hey, it's for you. What? Then I open, it's cash. Okay. Then I put it. Every day I was waiting. Where's the guy? The guy couldn't get today. I came back and I bought a house.
Yeah.
Wow.
In 1999,
Yep.
as soon as I came back,
You should have done that.
I bought a house. I
Where
got
were
buy a
you?
house.
I was doing
I
stuff.
look. I
In
tried.
1999?
I tried to get all
no, not
brothers,
99.
all brothers to compete. I said, man, imagine this 5. What are the odds at least one
It's a big
end
house.
up winning, right?
Yeah.
But I was
My
only
division.
Higan.
I missed
Me and
my
Higan
gold
came on the
division.
first one. Second one, I convinced Carlos. Carlos came. Then the other one's just me and Higan again. I don't recall why, but
I
it
love
was,
those
it was
Abu
a
Dhabi
great
fights, though.
opportunity.
Those were great matches.
And man, and I think at the beginning the idea of the rules they have was pretty good. Like
Yeah.
First 5 minutes,
No
whatever
points,
happened,
no
nothing
anything,
counts. And on my mind's like, okay, I can lie down, the guy mount on me, and whoever has the best grappling will succeed.
Yeah.
That was great. But today you see the first half of the fight, push, nobody goes to the ground, just push. Then they say, okay, points. Then that's when they start engaging.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my mind was like, hell no, let's scramble. Let's go for it.
You went for the
That-
sub.
I just go, like, let's go after me or go after you, 5 minutes, and whatever happened, you take my back, good, there's no points. I mean, what's the...
Yeah.
And I think the idea was to do that, but when you get there, a lot of cautions and points. But that is the mentality of so many competitions today. Is evidently it's important to know the rules.
Yeah.
Not every fight you might have in the submission, but at least try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And today people are based on the point system, and that translates to most of the jiu-jitsu schools.
Yeah.
The train are based in
Score,
advantage,
hold,
hold,
score, hold.
5 minutes and go, which is kind of holds the development of the art.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of these schools in the past, maybe 2 or 3 decades, are all based in tournaments, not in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of guys when I'm going to do MMA. All right, you better train jiu-jitsu prior tournaments, because if you're trying to apply this system into MMA, you might get hurt. Then we see that happen
Yep.
all the time.
The sport jiu-jitsu.
Black belt jiu-jitsu goes there, guy put in the guard, get murdered.
Yeah.
Because there's no point system, no You have to be more deep into the principles of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, tournaments are great. MMA is great. Everything that have a chance to expose jiu-jitsu, it's great. It's good for all of us.
Yeah.
All of us.
Seems
I
like there's
know.
like a cultural shift in jiu-jitsu as far as the purpose of what it is. Where like you described to me that when you were first doing jiu-jitsu, that the competition or the tournament side of it was just part of the training. Like that was just part of the training. Whereas
It was
what
to
you're
help
just-
your jujitsu. The competition was to help your jujitsu, not jujitsu
It wasn't the
for
goal.
competition.
Whereas
Yes.
like what you're describing with some schools nowadays, it's like the purpose is to win the competition.
100%.
And like it just seems like people need, or possibly it would be helpful for somebody who wants to do jiu-jitsu to think about why they're doing it and what the purpose
I
is.
saw my cousin another day saying that, and evidently a lot of people like to compete, a lot of people don't like to compete. In my school, sometimes the best guy is not the one that is competing. I have a guy who goes there, win the gold medal, he comes to school, this guy just kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because this guy kills him, make him so good that he goes out there and do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't like, he feels like, not for me. The purpose of our jiu-jitsu training that we learned on the early days was based in self-defense. I remember every student that I taught private, the first 36 lessons, no training, just go from one movement to 4, the next class you repeat those 4, add 2 more, and until 36, and you have to know from escape on headlock and clinching and throws and how to move your hips, escape from certain positions, was no training. And don't get me wrong, it's an amazing thing for you to achieve gold medal in a tournament and all of this. In jiu-jitsu, in a period of time, it might be something very selfish activity for you. But you realize in the more you train that you have to share that with other people.
Yeah.
How good am I if I have all the gold medals, but I don't have any other student that achieve anything under me? Am I a champion or I just won medals? Or get the titles? To me, it's more important to have the students doing as good or even better than you in jiu-jitsu, and most important, in their own activities. Then in my school, I have incredible lawyers. They all become better lawyers because of practice of jiu-jitsu. Have great lawyers. They become even better. Doctors become because of jiu-jitsu. They are more disciplined. They open their mind for a different view of life. That, to me, is way more important than I won Abu Dhabi. Because now it's something that we live in other people. The impact that you can have in people's life with jiu-jitsu is something that is hard to measure. How many people today are able to make a living off jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Man, we're talking about $1 billion industry
It's a lot,
worldwide.
Yeah.
How many martial art magazines we had here in the early 90s?
Yeah.
3?
Yeah.
After jiu-jitsu, I don't know.
Yeah.
How many, when we got here, we have no gi manufactured.
Yep. None.
0. How
Now
many,
everyone has a gi company.
How many gi? No, just to see.
It was hard to get geese.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Our early days, they sell merchandise. We even make some stuff, but, and if you start following, how many acai stores you have here today? Thinking about how many business are surrounding because of jiu-jitsu.
I was so glad acai finally arrived in America.
But you understand how
That's
many.
when I knew jiu-jitsu had arrived.
But you understand how many things, how many podcasts, how many TV shows that are like streamings that are jiu-jitsu. Think about it, how much impact jiu-jitsu has in people's life. And not all of them actually become instructors, but jiu-jitsu is part of their life to make them better for what they want to do. And that's the whole message our uncle had, is we're going to change the world to a better place. That was his philosophy. Because if you train hard every day and you have a good instructor there, you're going to achieve your medal, you're going to become a champion. You know what I mean? But, okay, after you achieve all of this, you look back, okay, what besides the medals, what do I have now? How many people that were able to impact in a very positive aspect? That's the goal. You know what I mean? And that is what Jiu-Jitsu is from the time we learn. I don't want to just mention, oh, you're world champion. But that's all he has. What comes with, you know what I mean? And evidently, what becomes part of you, regardless, sometimes is the discipline of show up.
Yeah.
And now, if you show up in anything else in your life the way you do for Jiu-Jitsu, what are the chances that you're going to succeed in whatever you decide to do? And I'm a great believer of my students, and I tell you, if you tell me you want to become a mayor in my city, I believe you. But how much do you want actually? How much is behind your words? How much do you want? You know what I mean? But if you have the discipline, you really believe in yourself, I have no doubt you will become. That's why Jiu-Jitsu transforms people. It's not just a tournament. I feel happy, don't get me wrong, 15,000 people doing Jiu-Jitsu, holy cow.
Yeah.
But Jiu-Jitsu is not only that.
Yeah.
It's way more people that did not win a gold medal that has more benefit of Jiu-Jitsu. Way more.
Yeah.
Where do you see this whole thing going in the future? Do you see it being like an Olympic sport in the future? Or what do you, with your experience,
We
what do you
hope
see?
so, but if you're thinking about judo and jiu-jitsu are the same thing. It's just the rules that change. Yeah. And man, if you put judo and jiu-jitsu, judo is way more organized as a organization, as a federation, as you know. What I heard, I don't even know if that's true, is for you to become an Olympic sport, you have to have one organization, and you should have 72 countries all under that organization. And not that it's not possible, but I just see among Brazilians very challenged. All belong to the same organization, all kind of follow in the same direction. Because judo is already there for.
The Japanese
Since the
already
60s.
had it.
Or
I mean, you go to Japan, every little town has a training center, free.
Yeah.
For the kids to train and develop. Can be sumo, can be judo, can be any other style. That's how actually Jiu-Jitsu started. Jiu-Jitsu started, you have, I think his name was Watanabe.
Yeah.
It was a little town in Japan. And the style of this Jiu-Jitsu guy was ground. Then he goes to Kodokan, and he goes there, he just submit everybody. And you go to Kodokan and say, you're going to work here. He was the emperor right on. Then he taught to Maeda, Konji Maeda. Konji Maeda went around the world and spread judo everywhere he went. In Brazil, he was there and started teaching jiu-jitsu as a little community. Yeah. One of his students, Carlos Gracie. You see how it goes. And it's from one guy in Brazil now, jiu-jitsu came back, and now it's something that is all over the world.
All over.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer Brazilian jiu-jitsu, no such a thing. Oh, it's Brazilian jiu-jitsu. No, it's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu.
It's just jiu-jitsu, yeah.
You know? But where we're going from now, man, I think I always like to think it's just the beginning. Because it's no ending of how much more we're going to grow. Man, if you drive here in 5 miles, you might find, 20 schools?
Oh, yeah. That's why we don't have one.
Right?
Honestly.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why we train here.
But see, you drive 5 miles just around
Yeah.
the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think
20
I'd
schools.
Throw a
think
rock
I'd-
and you'll hit 5.
I think I drive by 5 on my way over here.
You understand? I mean, and I think it's one of the biggest misunderstanding. And today, man, I trained jiu-jitsu until I had my school at least 10 years. And when I was teaching under my instructor.
Yeah.
I was there every day. I was learning. And what happened today is, it's people have a book with 20 chapters. They read the first two.
And they skipped it.
I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I know how to teach. Man, when you teach somebody, it's a lot of things that you have to learn how to deal with human being. It's not just the technique of jiu-jitsu. A lot of people come to a school and something's not right with that person. You improve yourself of learning how to read people in a very positive way.
Yeah.
You learn what to say to people through jiu-jitsu to make the person feel better. Man, we have a lot of people today with depression, some kind of an addiction. And if I only read 2 chapters, I don't know how to deal with that. But if I stay long enough, it's a school. I want to become a doctor. I go first year. Okay, I know how to be a doctor. Am I going to go with this doctor? 1 year experience? Hell no. Am I going to, that guy has 15 years work as a doctor? Oh, yeah, he must know 15 years doing that. And that's what happened. A lot of jiu-jitsu schools, some of the instructors are not ready.
Yeah.
But based in tournaments, system,
Yeah.
they open the school.
Yeah.
You understand? Not to teach jiu-jitsu. Their classes are based in, okay, 2 points. Here, go.
Yeah,
It's all robots, kind of.
Yes.
And jiu-jitsu is not just that. This
supposed
is
to be
this is
more
a
free,
small
yeah.
portion of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot more things because we're dealing with human beings. You know what I mean? And not everybody feels comfortable just going there like a robot. Some people find, I want to lose weight. No, you're not good for tournament. You're not good for my school. But no, jiu-jitsu is for everybody.
Yeah.
But a lot of schools are making small groups of competition. Those are the important guys.
Yeah.
If you are not in this group, man, you're not important to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I see. Not necessarily all the schools are like that, but most of it, unfortunately, are based on that aspect.
I've definitely seen a handful of schools though that do a really good job of like integrating everybody, and then those like high level competitors, they're just mixed in. Like it's somehow everything like works such that everybody's kind of same importance, and like it feels really good. I've seen that a bunch of times. I like that.
You have a lot of schools again that are doing an amazing job. They have competitors. They have all groups in the same environment.
Yeah, it's nice.
But as I said, you drive over here, saw 5 schools. What are the odds that some
gonna
of the
chip
schools
into
are just robotic, this term, and that's it? No.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu is way more than just a tournament.
Yeah. We're kind of running towards the end here. Do you guys have anything? Do you have anything that you got going on, like special projects or
man.
anything that's happening in your life?
Man, I had to know what I learned too as we get older. I only tell the things that I'm doing after it's done.
Okay. But we can count you doing something.
It feels like I owe now. Oh man, I gotta make no. I have several things that I'm doing. It's incredible. Evidently, everything born through the jiu-jitsu. But it's not jiu-jitsu. But because of the jiu-jitsu, I'm able to get to all those projects.
Yeah.
And evidently, a few of them would be very beneficial to jiu-jitsu for sure.
Yeah.
You'll give even more exposure to jiu-jitsu. But I learned that, man. I will hold back, and when it's done, and then I call you, hey, we can do a podcast about this. It's already
Well, you do have
firm and signed.
You do have your school running though, right? And people are walking in the door there. And
Tarzan school.
Man, we have a Woodland Hills.
Woodland
It's Woodland
Hills,
Hills.
yeah.
I was in Tarzana for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And I moved. It was a great move.
It's a nice place.
It's a building next to that one now. It's not the one that
Oh, okay.
you
You
were
moved
there.
that one. Yeah.
It's the same complex, but it's a 7,000 square feet place.
Wow.
I'm having my annual camp,
Yeah.
students affiliation. It's going to be 19, 20, 21st of this month. I don't know how many people have. We passed 100 long time ago, but I think on my match today I can have about 80 people comfortable. More than 100 be tight, but everybody feels home. It's a great place. And man, I feel happy to see that and more people looking for jiu-jitsu for many different reasons. To a health aspect, for mental, for spiritual, and we still have a lot of good schools that are providing all of that, plus competition mode too. But today, looking back from the early days, and boy, I see Chris, this gentleman, he is a person that I see go around the world. You say his name, everybody knows who he is. From what he's been doing for so many years. And I see back, he's one of the pioneers in America to do that on the early days. One of the first black belts for sure.
I was right place, right time.
Know
Met
what I
all
mean?
you guys.
And it was very interesting to see that if you stick around for things in life, that you see the results. Sometimes people don't realize I was in Vegas, I got the Hall of Fame and all of these, great. It took me 25 years to get that. People want things too fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not getting something today because what I did yesterday, because I did many years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And things are working in this path. Everybody today wants everything too fast. They forget one thing they have to work for. It's not going to land on them. And I think it's being here today and having the chat with Chris, and it's coming back to this house. It brought me so many great memories, flashbacks of the beginning of, and we see today everything that we had to go through those times. It worth. You have to do it again. Would not change anything. I think everything was flowing in a perfect way. And here we are, have millions of people that were collecting benefits and passing on the benefit of practice jiu-jitsu. And hopefully, again, it's just the beginning. Hopefully gonna get more and more people doing these amazing arts that transforms you to, for sure, a much better person.
Nice. I would say that I think I'm speaking for myself and a lot of people, Bowie. Thank you for your contribution to this thing that we all do, and for helping so many people and impacting so many people. You're an a really good example of how to be on and off the mat, and we thank you for that.
Thank you very much. You see, it's things like that are more rewarding than many other things. To listen that Jiu-Jitsu actually does work extremely well and continue to make us feel good about ourselves, for sure. Thank you.
100%.
You guys got anything else?
Honor to have you, Jean Jacques.
Yeah,
Man.
totally awesome.
One of my heroes coming up.
Good to
through
be
belts.
here and see this guy. And every time I see him, he look younger. And thank you to bring to the beginning of everything we done.
Yes.
Right here.
Nice. Well, thanks so
Thank
much
you,
for
sir.
coming. We appreciate
Thank
you,
you.
very much. I think that's it.
All right.
Okay.
Yes. Man.
Easy.
I thought we're just going to start it.